Hello, I'm trichologist Carolyn here at Absolique Hair Health Clinic. Today we're following on from our previous video on autoimmune, and we're going to just dive a little bit deeper into the blood tests that we have for autoimmune. So just say you're experiencing something like alopecia areata, you go to your doctor, it's obviously patchy hair loss. They may run a blood test and they're going to test you for autoimmune disease, which could be something like celiac, or there's lots of other markers. And most of the time this comes back negative, but that doesn't mean that you can't have an autoimmune attack. So we want to check when we're having blood tests, just some other general blood tests and some other inflammatory markers. We might find again that the inflammation is not there. Fantastic. You don't have a disease, you don't have a systemic problem, but you may still have an autoimmune attack going on. So this is when we want to really dig into your general health blood tests. So in Australia we can generally get them under Medicare and through your GP, but you need to sort of get your GP to be your healthcare partner, particularly when you're having this type of alopecia areata or the scalp conditions, which are psoriasis and seborrheic dermatitis, which are all autoimmune, because you've got some immune markers in your blood test that are really, really simple. Something like your iron studies, your vitamin B12, your hematology, your vitamin D, even your cholesterol, and your lipid profile and chemistry, and even thyroid can give us an indicator of what is actually happening autoimmune or lowered immunity. So we'll give you an example here that you might be told that you're in range or everything is fine. So let's use ferritin for an example. Ferritin is the storage tank of the iron. So we need iron for oxygen and energy. We cannot survive without it, so the body has the tank, okay? Now the level for the tank, or the reference range, is 30 to 300. So if you come back with an iron test and your ferritin is 30 to 40, you are deemed totally fine. But when I'm working with autoimmune types of hair loss and scalp conditions, I know if your ferritin is at 30 or 40, that's very, very low end, and is going to cause lowered immunity, and you can have an autoimmune attack. So we need to have higher levels even though it's deemed safe. Okay, another example is vitamin D. So vitamin D, generally in Australia, pathology says if you're above 49 you're fine, but 4 years ago lots and lots of research came out, and this is scientifically proven data, that our reference range needs to be at least 150 to 300. So this hasn't made it through. So if your vitamin D comes through and you're 60, you're deemed fine, but that is no way enough vitamin D to support ferritin, or to support immunity, or actually to support your good cholesterol. So every cell has cholesterol, so super important to have enough good cholesterol as well. So we give you a list of bloods that we ask you to include. They're all covered by Medicare. There's nothing unusual in there, but it's how we read them that is the difference. But you really need to work with your GP to make sure that you get everything on the list, because it is super, super, super important, particularly when you have an autoimmune condition. So if you want a list of the blood tests that we recommend, you can drop me an email and we can send it across to you. But if you have any questions or concerns about autoimmune problems, we're specialists in hair loss, hair thinning and scalp conditions. I'm here to help, so drop me an email. It's info@absolique.com.au. Thanks.